Speaking of people on a video in a campaign who say things that you can't believe they actually said, here's a clip of the Georgia 6th congressional district race between John Ossoff and Karen Handel. And I want you to listen to what Karen Handel said in response to the question about a livable wage.
Minimum wage.
This is an example of the fundamental difference between a liberal and a conservative. I do not support a livable wage. What I support is making sure that we have an economy that is robust with low taxes and less regulation, so that those small businesses that would be dramatically hurt if you impose higher minimum wages on them are able to do what they do best: grow jobs and create good paying jobs for people in the 6th district. If she wins, and she just told Georgians whose minimum wage is $5.15 an hour, whose the state minimum wage is $5.15 an hour, yes, the federal minimum wage is $7.25, but you can't live off of $7.25 any more than you can live off of $5.15 an hour, even in Georgia, where the cost of living is a lot less expensive than here in Massachusetts. But if Karen Handel wins after saying that she openly does not support a livable wage, then damn it, the 6th district of Georgia, I hate to engage in this type of rhetoric, but they get exactly what they deserve. I mean, she's clearly telling you that this is what she believes this is the fundamental difference between a liberal and a conservative, liberal, whatever, and a conservative, that she does not, and she wears it as a badge of honor, that she does not support a livable wage. Translation, she doesn't care what your employer pays you, so long as it works out to the benefit of the employer. I mean, do we even need to get into the most basic economic theory? I'm talking about high school economic theory that suggests that you want to be able to pay your employees enough to live and enough to consume your product. I mean, it only makes sense that you would want people in your community to make enough money to be able to afford whatever the hell you're trying to sell. But what has happened over the last 30 years is that we've shifted, 30 plus years, is we've shifted the entire framework of our economy such that companies, big box companies, Walmarts of the world, do not have to pay a livable wage. And while it seems as though they would be missing an economic opportunity to make money off of employees who actually have more money to spend, it makes sense, right? I work at Walmart, I get my check, I need to buy stuff for my family, I go to Walmart. It would make sense that the more money their employees make, the more that they could spend. But the fundamental nature of our economic system has changed such now that Walmart does not have to pay. McDonald's, they don't have to pay a livable wage to still benefit off of their employees who don't make enough to live, because they teach their employees how to get food stamps. They teach their employees how to get welfare. They teach them how to live off the system. So now Walmart doesn't have to pay you enough to live. They just pay you enough to meet their profit margins, and everything else above that they can get from you, they get through food stamps. They get through all of your subsidies that you live off of. So Walmart is getting it coming and going. Not just Walmart, all of these businesses that are fixated with paying the lowest wage possible, they can do that because the government is complicit with them. The government allows socialism for corporations in the form of welfare and food stamps being funneled from taxpayers into the hands of corporations, because corporations won't pay their employees enough money to live. And Karen Handel is saying proudly, I don't support a livable wage. I'm not really a fan totally of Ossoff. But that's kind of irrelevant at this point, because at a minimum, we have to recognize the fundamental difference between someone who looks at the idea, the very concept of a livable wage being an anathema to her political ideology. You have to look at that as being a distinctly different evil to fight against, versus someone who, while he's not going to go over and above
on behalf of labor, he is interested in pursuing livable wages pegged to the cost of living for the region. That is a distinct difference, and that election is coming up soon. I don't know what else to tell the people of Georgia other than you heard it from the source herself. I wanted to say the horse's mouth, but I'm sure somebody would make that problematic. So you heard it from the person herself. She does not support you having a livable wage. She supports you living hand to mouth and getting some subsidies. And then they're going to attack the subsidies. They're going to attack your wage and then blame you for working 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, and not making enough money and saying that you don't really deserve these food stamps. So anyway, I just don't understand why people can't see that clearly.